So for the last number of years, I've just grown tired of listening to people talk about. I find it so difficult to build collaborative relationships with people in business. Networking as it's constituted is hard work. A lot of people find it just too difficult. It doesn't suit a lot of introverted people. So what we're trying to do is build a means for people to connect with the kind of people in the business world that will help them make a difference. We're very lucky to have Naomi Fine working with us on this project. She activates parts of our brain and the way we think that most standard interventions don't. And I think having that extra element and having her, essentially her genius involved, makes a huge difference, and I know people really appreciate it.
My role was to help people to gather the knowledge in the room and their thoughts and give them kind of creative visual tools to do it. So we kind of try to get people reflecting and think, what are they going to take away with them from today?
I'm a long-standing member of the Smarter Egg tribe, very much like the format. I find Aidan is a superb facilitator. He really does get people thinking. He brings out thought-provoking exercises. The benefit that we get from the groups, basically, from my perspective, is you get out of the office, you get to speak with other people in other sectors, you learn an awful lot from them that you wouldn't, regardless of what you're reading or what task you're going through or what project you're attached to yourself. It's just other people's opinions, and to be honest, even helping them as well, because it's a sharing community.
As a person starting up my own business, it was really interesting for me to step into a room full of really skillful business people and to share in such a creative, friendly and ultimately enlightening way. Doing sort of right brain processing rather than just all intellectual kind of wordy stuff is really, really helpful to get the concepts and the tools in a more solid way.
Looking at sales from a totally different approach, so in other words, not looking at it directly, but making a postcard or making a story. It's like you had to forget about sales for a minute and you were lost in the creative process, so you forgot your inhibitions. At least I did, and I was able to do something which made it fun. And so leaving it now, I can say, okay, sales can be fun. I don't have to be serious about it and I don't have to go at it directly. I can kind of come at it a different way. So that's what it was for me.
I go to a lot of networking events, and there was a lot of people here that I had never met before, never come across before, and the difference of opinions and ideas around the table was great. Instead of the usual, networking, which is good in its own right, and you need to do that for business, I wanted something where I could exercise my brain a little bit and just do something different and kind of switch off and get fully engaged in a topic that would kind of just make me think a little bit more, and do that with like-minded people and, with that kind of energy in the room. It was lovely because I even said to somebody, you never get a chance to do this stuff, just to sit down and do kind of arty things and like you used to do when you were a child, and it's lovely to take a couple of hours out on a random evening and just do that. It's brilliant. It's fantastic.
I mean, there are lots of things about the ideas, but above all, in my mind, it's about building new relationships which have potential. You don't know what's going to happen. You might lead in any direction, really. So I have found in the past that these groups that Aidan brings together are actually very helpful to me, because they enable me to meet people who I wouldn't otherwise meet. What I did find is that when we did get our hands on these things like pens and papers and asked to do things, I loved it. I loved it.